All right, let's talk about one of the most sought-after looks in fitness, the classic V-taper. But what if I told you the way to get there wasn't about doing more in the gym, but actually doing a whole lot less? Today, we're going to break down a strategy that is all about training smarter, not just harder.
So, let me ask you something, and be honest. Does this sound familiar? You're putting in the hours, you're hitting every machine, you're grinding it out week after week, but that powerful V-shape just isn't showing up. It is an incredibly common frustration, and you know what? It probably means you're just not focused on the right things.
The whole philosophy behind this smarter approach can be summed up in just 3 little words: ignore the rest. I know, that sounds a bit crazy, right? But the idea here is that the real secret isn't adding more exercises. It's about being ruthless and getting rid of everything that doesn't directly build that V-taper.
Now, just so we're all on the same page, what are we actually talking about here? The V-taper is that classic look where you have a wide upper body, we're talking back and shoulders, that narrows down to a smaller waist. It's basically an optical illusion, and it's what creates that powerful, athletic silhouette. So, to really understand the solution, we have to dig into the problem first. And for so many people, it all starts with what we can call the V-taper frustration.
You know, the biggest mistake people make is trying to train absolutely everything, all the time, with equal focus. You hit chest, then biceps, then triceps, forearms, calves, the whole laundry list, right? And you just kind of hope that a V-taper will magically emerge from all that work. But that shotgun approach just spreads your energy way too thin.
And that brings us to the solution. It's a super targeted strategy that cuts through all the noise and focuses only on the things that give you the biggest bang for your buck, visually speaking. And here's the best part. The secret isn't some crazy, complicated workout plan you need a PhD to understand. Nope. It all boils down to one simple number: 5. We are talking about just 5 key muscle groups that do almost all of the heavy lifting when it comes to creating that V-taper illusion.
So here they are, the essential 5. First up, you've got the lats. These are what give you that width, your wings. Second, the shoulders, and we mean all 3 parts of the muscle to get that round 3D look. Third, the upper traps, which build up that powerful shelf on top of your shoulders. Now these next 2 might surprise you, the glutes and the serratus anterior. I know, but trust me, we're about to see why they are absolutely non-negotiable for this look.
So, why this specific group of 5 muscles? I mean, what makes them so special for building that V-shape? Well, the logic here is all about visual impact. And this is maybe the most important idea to get your head around. It's not just about getting bigger overall. It is about creating a powerful illusion. You have to start thinking like an artist or an architect, right? You're sculpting a specific shape by making some lines look bigger and others look smaller.
This really breaks it down. Over on the left, you've got our illusion creators. These are the essential 5. They give you the absolute best return on your investment. They build that width up top, which in turn makes your waist look smaller. Then on the right, you have the rest. Now, don't get me wrong, these muscles are important for your overall strength and health. But for the specific goal of a V-taper, they just have a much lower visual impact. This is where you need to shift your focus.
So let's see how this puzzle fits together. The wide lats and broad shoulders, they obviously create the top of the V. That's the easy part. But here's the game changer, the glutes. When you build up your glutes, you create a stronger anchor at your base, and by comparison, your waist instantly looks smaller. And then the serratus, those cool finger-like muscles on your ribs. They add that extra detail and width that completes the taper. It is all about proportions.
Okay, so that brings us to the final and most important part. Let's put this all together into an actual blueprint you can use.
So the blueprint is beautifully simple. You have a limited amount of energy and recovery time, right? So you need to channel all of it into these 5 muscle groups. That's it. Make them the absolute priority in your program. Train them first when you're fresh, train them hard, and train them for growth. And that means you have to make a choice to spend way less time and energy on all those other muscles that don't really help with this specific look.
And that really leaves us with one final question you have to ask yourself. It's not about whether you're working hard. I'm sure you are. The real question is whether all that hard work is being applied in the smartest way to get the result you actually want. So, are you just training hard, or are you ready to start training smart? Might be time for a change.